All right, welcome to early morning video. Well, not so early, but I'm gonna keep this video short. Um, so this is part of the experience networking, whatever it was. I want to talk briefly about that. So like, if we go to my channel here and we look at what this series has been so far, it- like honestly, I'm a bit uh dissatisfied with it because I've spent, you know, more than an hour now, close to 2 hours doing these videos, and I just really question their usefulness because if we go to the uh, chat bot that I've been using, um, we can see, let's take a look at my LinkedIn to um, so I listed some experience I have: network engineering, Python development, system administration, uh, Python automation. Oh, that's under there, automation. So like these things, especially the things where like I don't have as much experience, we could be focusing on, and we could, and I could be developing these. Like I feel like I'm focusing a bit too much on the semantics and the kind of freely artificial things, and I need to be uh, saying like here's what I think is a better question than the questions I've been asking, and this is just part of the learning process. I've only been doing this series for like under 2 hours, as I said, so this is kind of what I'm hoping to get from this series. But I think a better question than the questions I've been asking are questions like, how can I prove that I have world class DevOps skills? So the answer is going to be, to prove that you have world class DevOps skills, you can take certifications, courses, attend seminars, and complete projects that showcase your skills. So I knew that already to an extent. But we can further ask it, what are some projects I can do that prove that I have, and we don't even have to get world class, because that 10,000 hours rule, I don't necessarily have 10,000 hours, so that I have valuable dev ops skills. And I forgot the word, th- but here we go. So to prove your DevOps skills, you can take on projects such as setting up automated deployment pipelines, creating and creating monitoring and logging systems, refactoring and optimizing code, managing infrastructure as a code, setting up uh, containerized deployments, developing cloud-based solutions. So like you can also contribute to open source DevOps projects. So and create your own projects. So this is I think uh better than what I was doing before. So like, what name some open source DevOps projects that I can contribute to, so that I can prove that I have valuable DevOps skills. So like you can kind of see where I'm going like with this. So um yeah, so like you're contributing to the source code of Kubernetes, Ansible, Terraform, Jenkins, Chef, Docker. Like I think that is probably uh, that would probably go further than just reading a book on it and doing tutorials on it, to like say like here's my PR, here's the contribution I made to these tools, and then to really wrap it up in a nice bow, say here's my certification. So like that's what I want to do. I want to be able to um, provide like real things and not just say like, oh, here's video of me reading a book. It's like, well, anyone can read a book. Like, what did you really learn about the book? Like, nobody is uh, giving you a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a judgment based on what you did on reading that book. Alternately, getting a certification, you took a test, you learned the material, you got the certification. It's a real thing that you have to show for your work. And then similarly, contributing to an open source project, having a pull request, uh, uh, being integrated into the project, that's a real thing too. You can claim that you've done development work for these tools. So that's good evidence that you really understand them deeply. Much better evidence than you just uh, read a book about them and skipped half of the tutorials because the book was garbage and the tutorials didn't work and there were uh, grammatical and spelling errors all throughout the book. So um, so yeah, I'm gonna get to that eventually though. I think for now, I'm actually pretty happy with how this is going. I just think it's kind of not efficient enough and not getting to the point enough and meandering a bit too much, which is something I pretty much apologized for earlier. So I want to be aware of that and fix that. But I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. We got these in this one, we got these good questions to ask the AI when troubleshooting. So basically, the point of this series for now is to just learn how to ask questions to the AI so that I can integrate it into my daily life because these aren't going anywhere. In fact, there's going to be more of these AIs created, and they're going to get better and better. So the most important skill I think to learn right now is how to effectively ask questions to these AIs so that you avoid these delusions that the AIs have, where they tell you you can juggle 1,000 balls if you just practice your heart out, um, and to get uh, not only answers that are true, answers that are uh, tr- that like aren't delusions, to get real answers that aren't delusions, but to get useful answers that aren't just generic. Well, there's many reasons that you could do this. There's many ways to get like a clear answer, like you need to do this. You need to do if you want X, you need to do Y. Like to get those really clear answers and have them be true would be completely invaluable. I think that's what people try to get every day, just from like reading books and having mentors and stuff like that. But I don't think that is I think the future are these AIs, and if you can get that from this AI anytime, 24/7, you can ask it the perfect question and get the perfect answer. I think that is a really valuable skill uh, in the world today. So the last thing I asked it was this uh, excellent communication and interpersonal skills. So yes, so here's the next one: ability to work effectively independently and part of a team. Let me take a look at the phrasing I used in the next question. So what is the best way to gain? Okay, so let's do that for here. Um, what is the best way to gain the ability to work effectively, both independently Now, you see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's hard to tell, what the best way to use this AI is. Is that a good question? What is the best way to X? Or is it a better question, name 10 ways I can improve X? Is it a better question, what can I do to prove that I know X? These are all different questions. And if the AI answers them all the same, then okay, it doesn't matter. But if you get different answers, and some answers are better and some answers are worse, that's important to know. So let's try to ask all of those questions. So, how can I prove that I have the ability to work effectively and as part of a team? And then I forget what the uh uh yeah, so I think these two questions are fine. We're going to read these two answers and see how different they are. The best way to gain the ability to work effectively, both independently and as part of a team, is to practice working in both scenarios. This can involve taking on projects in both individual and collaborative settings, and working to understand the nuances of each. Additionally, it's important to be mindful of your own strengths and weaknesses and the strengths and weaknesses of your team members so that you can work together effectively. Additionally, active listening and communication skills are important when working in teams. It helps everyone understand the objectives and how best to reach them. Finally, it's important to remain open to feedback and criticism and to use it to improve your own skills and grow as a team member. Okay, so let's see how that's different from this one. So this is, how can I prove that I have the ability? To prove you can work effectively both independently and as part of a team, you should focus on showcasing your communication and collaboration skills. Empathize how you can work well with others and how you can take initiative to complete tasks on your own. You can highlight your successes both in individual and team environments, such as how you led a successful group project or how you completed a task faster than expected. Additionally, you could provide specific examples of how you handled difficult situations, such as how you handled a disagreement between team members or how you used your initiative to solve a problem independently. By emphasizing your communication and collaboration skills, you can show that you are capable of working both independently and in a team setting. So I actually like that answer a lot better. This answer, there's more kind of jargon, active listening. Like there's a lot of answers here where the follow-up question is, what is active listening? What are my strengths and weaknesses? And I don't think that matters as much as the follow-up answers, because I think in here you get more follow-up answers. So they're asking you to emphasize um, taking initiative to complete tasks, to emphasize um, your past successes, to emphasize uh, when you completed things faster than was expected. So like this question uh, produced an answer where you can provide follow-up questions instead of follow-up answers instead of follow-up questions like this question. So I like this question a lot better. How can I prove that X versus what is the best way to gain X? Because you're being told, and granted, it's a little bit semantics, but just this answer of active listening and communication skills. It's one of those. In my opinion, it's jargon. and it leads you down this whole rabbit hole of kind of what I've been trying to get away from in this channel, which is just getting knowledge and information, but not using it in any way, not having anything to show for it, not being able to prove that you've retained it and you've put it into practice. Kind of my goal in this channel is not to be a news anchor, a parrot, something like that, just a talking head where you can just play the you can use a browser extension to read out loud whatever is on the screen. I want to get away from that, and I want to think more like this, where how can I prove that I already have the ability? So if I don't already have the ability, then when it comes to proving it, um, I've got a long ways to go. And that's where I want to take this channel in. I want to put that work in, show my work, and be able to have something to show for my work. Ideally, that proves that I do know these skills. And then when I'm asked about it later, I'm not trying to recall something I read. I'm providing links to something I did. I'm talking about experiences I've had, and that's puts me in a lot better situation, in my opinion, than uh, trying to recall specific things uh, that aren't really that meaningful to me. Contributing to a project, making a difference, meeting awesome connections. That is what is meaningful, and as such, a lot easier to remember and talk about in the future. Okay, so I'm going to ask it one more question. So the last question is, how can I practice uh, the uh, how can I practice daily the ability to, okay, so this is another line of questioning. Um, so one way to practice working effectively both independently and as part of a team is to engage in activities that require both individual and group effort. So it's kind of the same answer. For example, if you could join a study group or work on a project with a team of peers, this will help you learn how to work independently while also contributing with others. So that's a really good answer. I've actually done that before. I've posted on Reddit and I've created a study group. You can do that at any time with people all over the world. So I like that answer a lot better because then you can talk about your study group. You can show the Discord, make it clear to everyone in the study group that we're going to be using a public chat tool, and you can go back and reference things from before. It's not like what we saw when I was reading the book. You're confined to the to like Google, Amazon Cloud Reader, or some PDF that you kind of have to um, worry if you're using it in a fair use way. So yeah, I like this answer a lot. This will help you learn how to work independently while also collaborating with others. Additionally, you can practice working with others by volunteering or participating in a team sport. I like that answer too, because for me, I feel like a lot of the like really valuable experience I've had when it comes to working in a team is like group passing, like dealing with different opinions, not getting upset at somebody for uh, being correct in saying that you're incorrect about something, being able to hold your position and prove that you are correct when you are correct, but other people don't believe so. Um, these came for me largely from my hobby, and it transferred over, I believe, into the professional world. So that's a really good answer that some of these skills don't come from directly from what you're doing. So to try to get them to transfer over from other things where they're more uh, widely relevant, immediately well relevant, is a really good answer. This will help you practice working together and learning to communicate effectively with others. Finally, you can practice working independently by setting time aside to focus on your own tasks and goals. So that's what I'm doing with this YouTube channel. That's another good answer. This will help you practice managing your own time and developing strategies for tackling projects on their own. So that's a good answer. I like these two questions, so I'm going to write them down in Notepad, and I'm going to include them in the description of this video. So the first question is, how can I prove that I X? And the second question is, how can I practice daily X? Okay. The other thing I'm going to try is I'm going to say, write me a daily practice routine to learn the ability to work effectively both independently and as part of a team. And let's see what it says for that. I want to ask ChatGPT that as well. I'm not a huge fan of ChatGPT, but we will see what it has to say. Okay, I don't know if this will work. Ah, it will. Okay, so let's see. Uh, I'm gonna thumbs down because I actually don't like ChatGPT. Um, okay, so set aside time during the day. So we can already see there's some different answers here. This says to start with a morning routine, beginning your day by setting goals and priorities for the day. Um, so yeah, I don't like that as much. I think setting aside time during the day um, is good, especially if you can do it early and you can be flexible with it. If you miss it, you just do it later in the day. Make a point to engage in activities, volunteer or participate, develop strong analytical skills, make a point to practice. So it's kind of the same answers, just in a different format. So I don't really see uh, the value in that. I think these two questions are totally fine. Okay, so I think that's probably it for now. We asked it this question and we got a good answer for it um, by asking it better questions. We talked about uh, how best to utilize this, and it's something that um, really this series is about right now. It's just learning how to learn using AI. And then once we figured that out, we can dive into more like the good stuff. We can ask it questions about fields of IT that are lucrative and important to know. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.